Welcome to The SIP, the Solstice Innovations podcast. In each episode, we chat with industry experts and innovators in insurance and insurtech. Join us for insights on trends, technologies, and the stories driving our industry forward. Let's sip on knowledge together at The SIP. Hello and welcome to The SIP. I'm John Umstead with Solstice Innovations, and today our guest is Noel Bunol, who is the Executive Vice President of Gulf States and Coastal American Insurance Companies.
Hey, John, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you taking some time to sit down and chat with us and share some of your experience and expertise. So let's just get right into some things. I've got a few questions for you. And the first really is just, can you provide us with a little bit of your background and what you're up to today?
Yeah, sure. Noel Bunol, born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I guess I get this saying from our CEO, Mark Carter. I guess I'm a one-trick pony. I've never done anything other than insurance. As a teenager, I started working in a family independent insurance agency, and I've been in it ever since. My early 20s, I transitioned to the carrier side, working for a regional carrier located in Louisiana. Started on the marketing and sales side, primarily an auto carrier. We joined the federal flood program in 2004, and when Hurricane Katrina hit August 29th of 2005, we had about $1 million in flood premium generated, and Katrina caused $100 million worth of loss on those few policies that we wrote. So it was unprecedented. I lived in the area, and I didn't have anything to sell at that point for our company. So I quickly moved into the claims department. I went to the NFIP crash course to become an NFIP flood adjuster. And I immediately started adjusting and helping our customers recover after the hurricane.
Katrina was, in a way, my introduction into flood insurance. I had responsibility for the direct contract with FEMA at the time. And I had only really been engaged with flood insurance for about a year and a half when Katrina hit. About a month and a half later, we came down. We had, adjusters, boots on the ground, and we also wanted to check in on agents and see how they were doing. And so came down to Louisiana, and it really changed me as a person. Seeing that, I didn't really have any appreciation for destruction like that and loss of life and that sort of thing until I actually got to see it and spend a few days there, and it made me a different person, I believe.
Yeah, it'll definitely make you appreciate. Gives you a great appreciation just for the event itself. And you commented you got to see everything. You don't only get to see everything. I always like to say the cameras don't pick up the smell.
That's right.
You're absolutely right. Everything from the refrigerators in these customers' homes have not had power for months, and the whole area was just inundated. So it was quite the event.
Yeah, it was, and you're absolutely right about the smell. I don't think I'll ever forget it, and hope to never ever see anything like that again. But at the time, people described it as looking like a bomb went off, and my feeling was being down there was that to me it was more like a lost civilization. You go through these neighborhoods that a couple months ago where kids are playing around, and now you see the toys up on the rooftops and everything's covered in soot and soil, and it was just odd.
So coming out of Katrina, you're on the sales side most of your career, and then you move to the adjusting side. You're helping people recover. It really gives you you can really better understand how the policy works and what it's intended to do. So coming out of Hurricane Katrina, after the recovery, I was moved to our national flood manager, to where I really focused on NFIP flood business, promoting the flood program and within our company, and helping agents and helping insurers when they were in need. If we fast forward from there to 2016, a few of us here locally, we had a bright idea to start over and start an insurance company. And we started Gulf States Insurance Company, Louisiana domiciled. Everybody asks, why Louisiana? I guess if you had to pick a place to do business and just do it, Louisiana would probably not be the place, but Louisiana is home. And so that's our reason. We started here because it's home, and now we do business in Mississippi and Alabama as well. I serve as executive vice president for the company, and everybody says, well, "What does that mean?" I said, "It means you do everything. I mean, you may put out the trash, you may help with a claim, um, regulatory reinsurance. You kind of touch everything within the insurance company. So, we're locally owned. We're a private company. 59, 60 shareholders. We know everybody personally. Our view of risk and how we run a company is really made up by our shareholders. We're not publicly traded. We're not funded by private equity money with these big demands. It's friends and family, and that kind of dictates how we run the company, if you will, which is probably a little more on the conservative side.
We talked a lot about flood sort of in the intro, but you're far more than flood, right? So what all do you do?
So here today at Gulf States, we're a coastal property writer, basically right from Calcasieu Parish, the Texas Louisiana line, Calcasieu Parish, move east to Baldwin County, Alabama, along that I-10, I-12 corridor. So a coastal property writer where we offer homeowners dwelling tenant occupied policies, and we're also a writer for the NFIP, a write your own carrier.
How have you seen things change over the years, and particularly in recent years?
Yeah, some areas of change that I think we really have seen lately is social inflation, technology, and I guess kind of throwing into technology. The way big data is accessible and affordable to everybody. Having latest and greatest technology and data available and affordable for small carriers, we feel has really put us on a level playing field with the big carriers. It's accessible to everybody.
What kind of measures have you had to take to deal with some of these changes?
To kind of deal with the changes today, I mean, we're looking at technology today, right? I mean, so for social inflation, you've got to do things like, we're seeing increased deductibles in the market. We're seeing limited policy forms, and we're steadily looking at technology. What's out there that can help us better underwrite, write policies more efficiently. I'll give you an example. I mean, you've seen debate over flyover imagery and how companies are using it and things like that. And we believe self inspections as well. I mean, we believe sometimes sending a stranger out to a customer's house that knocks on the door and wants to come inside. Some customers think that's more intrusive than sending them a link and allowing them to do a self inspection, or maybe utilizing a latest image of the roof from above in an underwriting process instead of sending somebody over to the house that's knocking on the door and getting on the roof, and a total stranger. So I think regulators, the public, the industry, we're all trying to figure out how to use technology, but in many ways we do see that it's actually less intrusive than the so-called old way of doing things.
That reminds me of a time. It goes back years. I worked for Nationwide Insurance, and for about a 6-month period there, I was in the claims office as a project manager there. So I wasn't a claims professional. I was basically managing tech projects for the claims office. But my boss at the time thought it would be a great idea to have me kind of tag along with a field adjuster, and I think that's one of the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my life. Just like you said, knocked on someone's door, and she had us come in, and you sit down, and it was, yeah, it was uncomfortable.
I think it's all about offering more options and choices to the consumer. You bring up claims, or even a self inspection. We'll send a link to a customer to do their self inspection. If they say they don't want to do it and they want somebody to come out, we'll give them that option.
Uh,
It's all about giving more options on a claim. Would they like a virtual experience on maybe a claim that's not that complicated, where we can go in and scope the loss virtually and maybe issue a payment within 24 hours if everything checks out, or do they want to wait 3 or 4 or 5 days for somebody to come out and do so? I think it's all about customer service and giving our customers choices and options.
And speaking of, so choices and options, and innovation, how has regulatory challenges impacted, or has it?
I'll speak for the markets that I do business in, and I can tell you our regulators have been exceptional. They've been very open to innovation. They want to hear about innovation and new ways of doing things. One of our states, Louisiana, just had legislation last year for they call it a regulatory sandbox.
Uh-huh.
It allows for groups with new ideas, new ways of doing business to come in and present their new way of doing things, and offers some alternative ways for them to try new ways of doing business. So I think on a large scale, the regulators do have some work to do to make sure everybody is being responsible with their technology and not overstepping. But we've seen in our markets, we've been pleased with our regulators and their openness to innovation.
That's great to hear. So what kind of trends do you see, speaking of technology, trends in insurance or in the insurtech sectors over the next few years, and how do you prepare to adapt for any of those changes?
Yeah, I mean, we're open. We're a small group. We're flexible. You know, we know there's going to be a change, and we react as change occurs, I guess, if you will. We do see it year after year. There's more and more technology available to us. I think the way we'll continue to utilize technology is, we don't view ourselves as an insurtech company, but we do use a lot of technology. So the technology is not making decisions for us. What we're doing with technology is we're giving it to our underwriters and our claims folks to give them better tools to better serve our customers. So we like to say we're a technology enabled company, and we're not afraid to look at it and use it. And I think keeping that in mind, not letting the technology run the company and make every single decision is how we'll continue to look at technology as we move into the future.
So you kind of nurture an internal culture that embraces technology to just make things better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not be worried about, is this technology going to replace me, and that sort of thing.
That's right. It's because I don't think it is. I mean, we've got one of our slogans in here is the only people that don't think experience matters is people without experience. And if you do walk through our offices, although we bring young people in, we do think experience matters, and we like having experienced underwriters and experienced claims professionals, and couple that with good technology, and we use the two together to offer a good product to our customers and provide the best customer service we can.
Noel, do you want to talk about AI for a little bit here?
The one comment I guess I had on AI that I don't know where it's going to go, but I do think it's going to be interesting as it becomes more and more and more available. How is AI going to get integrated into the insurance industry, and as it becomes more prevalent, how are the regulators going to? I think we're going to see some model legislation at some point in the future to put some guardrails around AI and how it can be used. But it definitely looks like it's coming fast. It's going to change. So if you don't change with it, you're going to get left behind.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, Noel, I appreciate you being here today on our podcast. And before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to leave us with?
No, appreciate y'all asking me to participate in this. It's definitely an honor to be here. I know we'll be doing business with each other in the future, and we're excited for that. And we like what you guys have going on as well. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So that concludes this episode of The SIP, and we appreciate you all tuning in.
Thank you.